Hey, did you know that Halloween has a really fascinating history?
Yeah, I've heard a bit about it, but not in detail. Tell me more.
Well, Halloween's origins can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. The Celts believed that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred.
What did they do during this festival?
They would light bonfires and wear costumes made of animal heads and skins to ward off evil spirits. They also believed that the spirits of the dead would return to earth, so they left offerings of food and drink to appease them.
So, how did this Celtic festival evolve into the Halloween we know today?
Well, when Christianity spread to the Celtic regions, the Church tried to replace Samhain with All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day, on November 1st. The night before became known as All Hallows' Eve, which later got shortened to Halloween.
Ah, that explains the name. But what about the tradition of trick-or-treating?
Trick-or-treating has some interesting history, too. In medieval Britain and Ireland, there was a tradition called souling, where the poor would go door to door, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food. This tradition evolved into children dressing up and going door to door for treats, and it eventually became the modern-day trick-or-treating we know.
And what about pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns?
The use of pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns is more of an American tradition. Originally, people in Europe used turnips and other vegetables, carving scary faces to ward off evil spirits. When Irish immigrants came to America, they found that pumpkins were more readily available and easier to carve, so the tradition evolved.
Wow! Halloween really has a rich and diverse history.
Yes, and over the years, it has blended various cultural influences to become the fun and spooky holiday we celebrate today. It's a unique mix of ancient Celtic traditions, Christian influences, and more recent American customs.
Halloween has so much more depth to it than I realized.
It's one of those holidays that has a deep historical background, but also continues to evolve with each generation. It's interesting to see how it has become a time for both spooky fun and creative expression.
I've always been amazed by the intricate and imaginative costumes people come up with for Halloween. How did the tradition of wearing costumes develop?
The tradition of wearing costumes on Halloween can be traced back to the belief that dressing up as ghouls or other supernatural beings could confuse or hide a person from any malevolent spirits wandering the earth during that night.
It's incredible how these traditions have transformed over time. Can you tell me more about that?
Halloween has become a huge industry. In the United States, it's the second largest commercial holiday after Christmas. It generates a massive market for decorations, costumes, candies, and even haunted house attractions.
It shows how much people love to celebrate this holiday. And speaking of celebrations, do other countries celebrate Halloween in a similar way as the United States?
Halloween is primarily celebrated in North America, but it has been gaining popularity in other parts of the world, especially in the United Kingdom and some European countries.
It's interesting how it adapts to different cultures. So, do you have any favorite Halloween traditions or activities?
I think one of the most enjoyable aspects of Halloween is getting to be creative with costumes and decorations.
I agree. Thanks for sharing all this intriguing information about the history of Halloween. It's made me appreciate the holiday even more.
Halloween is such a unique and multifaceted holiday, and it's always fun to learn more about its rich history and traditions.
Is there anything else about Halloween that you find particularly fascinating or unusual?
Well, one interesting aspect is the superstitions associated with Halloween. Some people believe that it's a time when the boundary between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest, making it a time for divination, like trying to predict the future.
That's intriguing. I had no idea Halloween had such a mystical side to it. It's remarkable how it encompasses both fun and spooky traditions. Anything else?
Another fascinating aspect is how Halloween has evolved into a holiday that's not just for kids. In recent years, it has become an occasion for adults to enjoy parties, costume contests, and even haunted attractions.
Yes. It's evolved in so many ways. I have a newfound appreciation for the holiday.
Whether you're into the spooky or the sweet side of the holiday, there's something for everyone to enjoy.
I hope you have a great time celebrating.
Thank. I'm actually really looking forward to Halloween this year because my kids absolutely love it.
That's wonderful to hear. How do your kids usually enjoy Halloween?
Well, they start getting excited weeks in advance, planning their costumes and even making some of the decorations. It's such a creative time for them. They spend hours deciding on the perfect costumes, trying them on, and tweaking them to be just right.
What kind of costumes have they worn in the past?
They've been everything from classic monsters like vampires and witches to superheroes, animals, and even their favorite characters from movies and books. Last year, my younger one was a tiny astronaut, and the older one went as a wizard.
Do they go trick-or-treating, or do you have any special Halloween traditions as a family?
We go trick-or-treating. They can't wait to fill their bags with candies. We also have a tradition of carving pumpkins as a family. It's a messy but fun activity, and they love designing their own jack-o'-lanterns.
I bet they look forward to that. What do they do with the carved pumpkins afterward?
We display the pumpkins on our doorstep with candles inside to create that classic Halloween ambience. The kids love to see their creations light up the night, and it's a great way to welcome trick-or-treaters to our home.
It must create a fantastic Halloween atmosphere. Do your kids have any favorite Halloween candies?
Oh, they have quite the sweet tooth. They love all the classics like candy corn, chocolate bars, and gummy treats. We usually sort through their candy haul when we get home to make sure everything is safe to eat.
For sure. It sounds like your kids have a blast during Halloween. How do they react to the spooky decorations and costumes?
They have a mix of reactions to the spookio aspects of Halloween. Some decorations might be a bit scary for them, so we try to keep things more on the fun and cute side. But as they grow older, they're becoming more interested in the spookio elements, like ghost stories and haunted houses.
It's nice that you strike a balance to ensure they have a good time. Halloween is a wonderful holiday for creating lasting memories with your children.
I cherish these moments with them. It's a time when their imagination and creativity really shine, and it's a joy to see them so happy.
It is a truly magical time for your family. I hope you all have an amazing Halloween this year and make many more cherished memories.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it, and I hope you have a fantastic Halloween too.